How did medieval armies sleep in tents without freezing to death a quiet night outside a 14th-century European city? Hello guys, today we will know about something very quiet and often forgotten. How medieval armies slept at night. When the cold came slowly, and the wind moved across open fields outside a stone-walled city. This narration is meant to help you rest, to let your breathing slow, and to let your thoughts drift gently, like smoke from a low fire. There is no hurry here, only the soft passing of time. We will travel back to a European city in the 14th century. A place of narrow streets and heavy stone walls, where an army has gathered outside the gates. Not in battle, but waiting, living, sleeping, enduring the cold. The city stands quietly nearby, its towers dark against the sky, its streets narrow and cobbled, fog resting low between the houses. Small lamps glow faintly at corners, their light trembling in the night air. Inside the walls, houses are small and cramped. Stone at the base, timber above, smoke slipping from narrow chimneys. Coal fires and hearths burn low, giving only modest warmth. Bread is baking somewhere, porridge cooling in wooden bowls. The smell faint but steady. A little meat, some vegetables. Nothing rich, nothing wasted. People inside the city prepare for sleep. Shopkeepers bar their shutters. Workers stretch tired arms. Children lie close together for warmth. The city grows still. Slowly. Carefully. Outside the walls, the land opens wide. Fields pressed flat by many feet. Wagon tracks cut into damp soil. Horses stand quietly, heads low, their breath rising in pale clouds. Here, the army has made its camp. Not in grand order, but in clusters of tents. Canvas and wool stretched over wooden poles. Low shapes against the dark ground. These tents are not strong against the wind. They do not keep out the cold entirely. They only soften it. Just a little. Soldiers move slowly now. Their work nearly done for the day. Plain clothing hangs heavy on tired bodies. Wool tunics worn thin. Cloaks patched many times. Boots are stiff with dried mud. Hands are rough and cracked. Faces darkened by smoke and weather. These are not heroes of songs. They are ordinary men. Cold. Hungry. Quiet. They have learned how to live with the cold. Not by fighting it, but by sharing it. Tents are placed close together, so the wind must move around them, not through them. Ropes are pulled tight. Pegs driven deep into the soil. The ground beneath each tent is prepared carefully. First, straw is spread thickly. Dry grass. Sometimes reeds from nearby water. This layer keeps the cold earth away from the body. On top of the straw, cloaks are laid. Old blankets. Spare tunics. Anything soft. Anything dry. Fire is the heart of the camp. Small fires burn between groups of tents. Never large. Never wasteful. Just enough to warm hands. To cook thin meals. To give comfort. The fire is watched carefully. Wind is always a danger. So is rain. So is the long night. Men gather close to the flames. Knees drawn up. Hands stretched out slowly. No loud voices. Only murmured words. And long silences. Meals are simple here. Hard bread softened in broth. Porridge thick and plain. A small piece of meat when fortune allows. Shared carefully. Divided fairly. Wooden bowls pass from hand to hand. No one eats quickly. The warmth of the food matters as much as the food itself. Clothing is never removed fully at night. Tunics stay on. Leggings remain tied. Cloaks wrap around shoulders and legs. Some men sleep sitting up. Backs against packs or shields. Others lie on their sides. Knees pulled close to the chest. 2 or 3 may share one cloak. Pressed close together. Breathing slow and steady. Human warmth is precious here. Never refused. The tent flaps are lowered carefully. Not sealed. But narrowed. To keep out the worst of the wind. And still allow breath to move. Moisture is feared. Wet cloth brings sickness. So damp boots are placed near embers. Not too close. Never forgotten. Horses are tended before sleep. Their warmth matters too. They are tied with care. Given straw and water. Their bodies steam softly in the cold air. Some men sleep near the animals. The smell is strong. But the warmth is real. And warmth is more important than comfort. Beyond the camp, the city remains silent. Its narrow streets empty now. Cobbles damp with mist. Lamplight fading as oil runs low. Inside a small house, a family sleeps close together. A hearth glows faintly. Coal embers hidden under ash. A pot hangs silent above the fire. Children curl beneath rough blankets. Their days filled with chores. Fetching water. Helping at stalls. Learning prayers by rote. Mothers rise early. Fathers work long hours. Trades fill the daylight. Smiths. Bakers. Weavers. Cleaners sweep streets before dawn. Carts creak through the city by day. Horses slow and patient. Small wagons heavy with grain. Markets hum softly with barter and murmured voices. But now it is night. And outside the walls, the army sleeps. Guards take turns staying awake. Wrapped in cloaks. Standing still to keep warm. Eyes scanning the dark. Listening to the wind. Cold moves slowly across the ground. Creeping. Persistent. It finds gaps. It tests cloth and skin. Men wake briefly. Shift position. Pull cloaks tighter. Then sleep again. Breath fogs the air inside tents. Drips of moisture form on canvas. Sometimes falling softly. like a quiet reminder of the night. No one complains. Complaints waste breath. And breath must be kept warm. The rhythm of the camp is slow. Fire. Sleep. Watch. Sleep again. Some men whisper prayers. Others count the hours by the stars. Most simply endure. They have learned this life over many seasons. Winter campaigns. Autumn rains. Spring frosts. Cold is not an enemy. It is a companion. Always present. Always testing. Inside the city, bells do not ring. No signal breaks the quiet. Only the faint sound of wind along stone walls. In narrow streets, refuse lies in corners. Animals sleep where they can. Dogs curled near doorways. Cats hidden in warm cellars. Shops are dark. Their wooden signs still. Iron hinges cold to the touch. In the camp, fires burn lower now. Embers glow red beneath ash. Men sleep deeper. Bodies finally yielding to rest. Straw shifts softly beneath movement. A cough breaks the silence. Then stillness returns. Some tents hold laughter from earlier. Now only breathing remains. Time passes without notice. Without measure. Only the cold marks it. Near dawn, the air grows sharper. Colder. The hardest hour before light. Men pull closer together. Cloaks drawn tight. Teeth clenched briefly. Then relaxed. The city will wake soon. So will the camp. But for now, everything rests. The fields. The tents. The narrow streets beyond the walls. Breath slows. Fire fades. Night holds gently. And the army sleeps. How did medieval armies sleep in tents without freezing to death a quiet night outside a 14th-century European city? The night continues without sound. No sudden movement. No sharp voices. Only the slow turning of hours. Cold presses deeper now. It settles into the ground. Into cloth. Into bone. The kind of cold that does not rush. But waits. Inside the tents, bodies adjust again. A shoulder shifts. A knee draws closer. A cloak is pulled higher toward the chin. Then stillness returns. Breathing becomes slow and heavy. One breath after another. Visible in the air. Then gone. The canvas above moves slightly. Wind touches it gently. Never strongly. Just enough to remind those inside that they are outdoors. Far from stone walls. Some tents are older than the men sleeping in them. Stitching repaired many times. Patches darker than the cloth around them. Each mark a memory of another night. Another cold season. Under the straw, the earth is hard. Frozen near the surface. Holding the chill from weeks of cold weather. That is why the straw matters. Why it is never forgotten. A man wakes briefly. His hands ache. Fingers stiff. He rubs them together slowly. quietly. Nearby, another sleeper mutters softly. Words without shape. Dreams passing through. Then silence again. The guards change quietly. One cloak passes from shoulder to shoulder. Footsteps careful on damp ground. No metal sounds. No clatter. They know the night listens. Even when nothing moves. The horses shift their weight. Hooves press into straw. Leather creaks softly. A tail swishes. Steam rises again into the dark. The smell of animals mixes with smoke. With damp earth. With wool and unwashed cloth. It is a familiar smell. One that means survival. Inside the city, a single lamp flickers. High in a window. Perhaps someone still awake. A baker preparing dough. A watchman pacing the wall. Stone holds the day's warmth longer than the fields. But even stone grows cold eventually. Walls release their heat slowly. Reluctantly. In a narrow house, a family sleeps around a hearth. Ash covers glowing embers. Saving warmth for the morning. Children press together like small birds. Their clothes are laid nearby. Never far away. Even in sleep, cold is expected. Outside, the army knows this same rule. Never let warmth drift too far. Never let fire die completely. Never let clothing dry too slowly. A small fire is stirred gently. A stick placed just right. No flame rises high. Only a soft glow returns. The man tending it squats low. Keeps his cloak wrapped tight. Face turned slightly away from the heat. So it does not dry the skin too fast. Too much heat is dangerous too. Cracked skin invites sickness. Balance matters. Even here. When the fire settles again. He steps back. Returns to his place among the tents. Lies down without a sound. The ground sighs softly beneath him. Straw compressing. Finding a shape for his body. Above, the sky is wide and dark. Clouds drift slowly. Sometimes hiding the stars. Sometimes revealing them again. Time is measured by cold. By hunger. By the stiffness in joints. No clocks mark the hours. Only the body knows. Men who have marched all day sleep deeper. Their exhaustion heavier than the cold. Others wake more often. Listening. Waiting. A distant sound carries across the fields. Perhaps wind through bare trees. Perhaps an animal moving unseen. No one rises. The sound fades. Stillness returns. The kind that feels complete. Inside the city walls, carts stand empty now. Wheels damp with mist. Horses resting in narrow stables. Hay piled thick beneath them. Markets are silent. Stalls closed. Cloth folded. Baskets turned upside down. Work will begin again at first light. As it always does. The army will rise too. Hands stiff. Breath white. Movements slow at first. But that time has not yet come. For now, the cold holds gently. Not cruel. Just firm. Tents remain still. Fires sleep beneath ash. Men breathe. Horses breathe. The earth breathes. And the long medieval night continues. Unbroken. Unhurried. Quietly passing. How did medieval armies sleep in tents without freezing to death? A quiet night outside a 14th-century European city. The hours stretch softly. One after another. Without shape. Without sound. Cold settles more deeply now. Not suddenly. But patiently. As if it knows there is no need to hurry. Inside the tents, sleep loosens and tightens again. A man turns onto his other side. Straw whispers beneath him. A breath catches. Then steadies. Cloth rubs against cloth. Wool against skin. The warmth that has been gathered through the night is held carefully. Never wasted. Never forgotten. Some men sleep with their heads close together. Feet pointing outward. Sharing heat where it matters most. No one minds the closeness. There is comfort in it. Others sleep alone. Wrapped fully in their cloaks. Cloak edges tucked beneath their bodies. Sealing warmth in. Holding cold out. The tent poles stand firm. Wood darkened by damp and smoke. Ropes hum softly when the wind touches them. A low sound. Almost like breath. Water skins hang near the ground. Kept from freezing by being close to bodies. Bread sacks rest beneath cloaks. Food protected from frost as carefully as flesh. Nothing here is careless. Everything has learned its place. A man wakes and listens. Not for danger. But for silence. Silence means safety. He hears only breathing. Slow. Uneven. Human. Animal. Satisfied, he closes his eyes again. Sleep returns gently. Like a blanket settling into place. Nearby, a shield leans against a pack. Wood and leather cold to the touch. It has been used as a windbreak all night. Placed just so. Weapons are kept close. Not from fear. But from habit. And habit brings calm. The night air smells of damp soil. Of straw. Of smoke long cooled. It is a heavy smell. But familiar. In the distance, beyond the camp. Bare trees stand still. Their branches dark and thin. Not moving. Not speaking. Frost forms slowly on grass. Catching faint starlight. Turning fields pale. Quietly changing the ground. Within the city, stone streets hold their cold. Cobblestones slick with moisture. Alleyways narrow and deep. Light never reaching their center. A watchman passes along the wall. Footsteps measured. Careful. A lantern hooded to keep light low. Below him, houses sleep. Windows shuttered. Doors barred. Families wrapped together for warmth. A pot rests on the hearth. Still. Waiting for morning. Children dream quietly. Of nothing clear. Only warmth and closeness. Back in the camp, a fire stirs again. Not flaring. Just glowing. A red eye beneath ash. Someone feeds it a thin stick. Just one. Enough to keep life inside the coals. He warms his hands slowly, turning them palm up, then palm down, feeling stiffness fade. His breath clouds the air. He watches it drift, then disappear. When he returns to his place, he does not rush. Movement is slow at night. Quick motion invites cold. He lies down carefully, finding the warm place left behind. Still there. Still waiting. The tent flap barely moves. Only a slight tremble. The outside remains outside. Time slips past unnoticed. No bells. No calls. No signs. Just the long holding of night. Men who have done this many times know. The cold always feels strongest before dawn. This knowledge brings patience. Not fear. They wait. Wrapped. Breathing. The ground beneath them is quiet now. Fully cold. Fully still. Above, clouds begin to thin. Stars sharpen. Light still far away. The army sleeps on. Not deeply. But enough. Enough to endure. Enough to rise again. And the night continues. Slow. Heavy. Unbroken. How did medieval armies sleep in tents without freezing to death a quiet night outside a 14th-century European city? The night grows thinner. Though darkness still holds the land. Cold lingers. But it has settled into a steady presence. No longer searching. Only staying. Inside the tents, sleep becomes lighter. Dreams loosen their grip. Breathing changes. Slower in some. Uneven in others. A man opens his eyes. Only for a moment. The world is still dark. The tent ceiling low above him. Canvas faintly outlined against the sky. He listens again. Always listening. The quiet remains complete. So he closes his eyes. And rests. Straw has flattened through the night. Pressed by weight. Warmed by bodies. It no longer rustles. It holds shape. Cloaks are damp at the edges. From breath. From ground. But dry where they matter most. Near the chest. Near the back. Men adjust these small details without thinking. A pull here. A fold there. Movements learned over years. Passed from one season to the next. Nearby, a young soldier curls tighter. Not yet fully used to this life. His hands tucked beneath his arms. His chin buried in wool. Learning silently. An older man beside him does not move. Sleep steady. Body accustomed to hardship. Cold no longer a surprise. Between tents, ash settles further. Fires sink inward. Almost invisible now. But not dead. Someone has placed a flat stone over embers, holding warmth inside. A simple trick, often used. The stone will still be warm at dawn. Enough to ease stiff fingers. Enough to remind the body that warmth returns. Beyond the camp, the fields change slowly. Frost thickens on grass. Edges of puddles grow stiff. Water hardens in silence. No birds move. No insects sound. Life waits. Inside the city, the first subtle changes begin. Not light. Not movement. Only the sense of nearing morning. A baker turns in his sleep, dreaming of ovens and dough. A cleaner shifts on a bench, thinking of streets yet unseen. In a cramped room, a mother wakes briefly, pulls a blanket higher over a child, then lies back down, eyes closing again. The city and the camp breathe together, in different ways, but under the same cold sky. In the tents, the smell of night lingers. Wool, smoke, earth. It is not unpleasant. It is known. It tells the body where it is. And that knowledge brings calm. Some men wake and sit briefly. Legs stiff. Hands numb. They do not stand yet. They wait. Standing too soon steals warmth. So they remain low, letting blood move slowly, carefully. A faint gray begins to touch the sky. So faint it might be imagined. But those who have watched many nights know. Morning is approaching. Still, no one speaks. Words break warmth. Silence holds it in place. A tent rope tightens slightly. Canvas pulls against its pegs. The wind shifts direction. Just enough to be felt. Men respond without waking fully. A cloak edge tucked deeper. A shoulder turned. A knee drawn closer. This is how they endure. Not through strength, but through patience. The cold does not defeat them, because they do not challenge it. They live within it. Quietly. The night remains. But its hold weakens. Slowly. Almost kindly. And the army continues to rest. Waiting. Breathing. Holding warmth. How did medieval armies sleep in tents without freezing to death a quiet night outside a 14th-century European city? The cold reaches its deepest point now. This is the hour before change. The hour soldiers know well. When sleep is light. And the body waits. Inside the tents, men stir without opening their eyes. A shoulder lifts slightly. A breath deepens. Warmth is gathered inward. As if the body knows what is coming. The canvas above feels heavier now. Weighted by damp air. By frost forming on its outer skin. Inside, it stays mostly dry. Enough to endure. A man presses his feet closer to his chest. To keep feeling in them. Boots remain on. Leather stiff. But protection matters more than comfort. Hands are hidden beneath cloth. Palms pressed to ribs. Sharing warmth with the heart. A simple habit. Learned quickly. Nearby, someone exhales slowly. A long breath. Then another. Breathing becomes deliberate at this hour. Between tents, the ground is pale. Frost lies thin and quiet, crunching only when stepped on. But no one steps now. The fires are nearly gone. Only dull red remains, hidden beneath ash and stone, waiting for morning's hand. The guards move again, exchanging places quietly. Their feet numb, their cloaks heavy with moisture. They do not stop walking long. Stillness steals warmth too fast. So they pace slowly. Measured. Patient. One pauses to look toward the city walls. Stone towers barely visible. Dark shapes against a paling sky. No sound comes from them. Inside the city, life still sleeps. Narrow streets empty. Cobbles shining faintly. Mist clinging low between houses. A horse shifts in its stall. Hoofs scraping wood. Hay rustles softly. Then quiet again. In the camp, a man sits up at last. Carefully. Slowly. Allowing blood to move. Allowing warmth to follow. He rubs his hands together. Not fast. Never fast. Slow friction brings deeper warmth. He breathes on his fingers. Cups them. Feels life return. Around him, others do the same. One by one. Without speaking. Without signal. This is the rhythm they share. Unspoken. Understood. A tent flap lifts slightly, letting cold air in briefly. Then closes again. Sealed with care. Someone checks the bread. Hard. Cold. But still food. Still welcome. Water skins are moved closer to embers. So they do not freeze solid. So the day may begin more gently. The sky lightens another shade. Still gray. Still quiet. But no longer night alone. Birds remain silent. They too wait for warmth. For light strong enough to matter. The men feel this change before they see it. A shift in air. A loosening of cold's grip. Not warmth yet. But promise. Cloaks are adjusted again. Straw kicked into place. Bodies straighten slowly. No one rushes the morning. Morning will come on its own. For now, they remain low. Close to the ground. Close to one another. Holding what warmth remains. Until the day is ready to receive them. How did medieval armies sleep in tents without freezing to death a quiet night outside a 14th-century European city? The first true light arrives quietly. Not bright. Not sudden. Just a thinning of darkness. The sky above the camp softens. Gray turning slowly toward pale blue. Clouds stretch thin. Cold still present. But no longer deepening. Inside the tents, eyes open fully now. Faces remain still. Expressions calm. The body wakes before the mind. Men sit up carefully. Spine stiff. Joints slow. Each movement chosen. Nothing wasted. Cloaks slip from shoulders and are shaken gently. Frost falls away in soft grains, landing soundlessly on the ground, returning to the earth. Straw is shifted again. Some gathered. Some pushed aside, making space to move. A fire is woken patiently. Ash brushed back. A thin stick laid across embers. Breath blown softly. Life returns to the coals. No flame leaps high. Just a quiet glow. Enough to warm hands. Enough to cook the morning meal. Men gather near the fire. Not close enough to rush warmth. Just near enough to feel it slowly. Hands extended. Palms open. The smell of smoke rises again. Thin. Familiar. Comforting. Water is warmed in small pots. Not boiled hard. Just ease toward warmth. So teeth do not ache when drinking. Bread is broken. Not cut. Shared in silence. Each piece small. But steady. Porridge thickens slowly. Grain stirred with care. No hurry. Morning allows time. Some men tend to horses now. Their breath loud in the cold air. Straw replaced beneath hooves. Water offered gently. Horses stamp softly. Warming themselves. Waiting for the day to begin. The camp wakes as one body. Without command. Without noise. Habit guiding each hand. A man rolls his cloak carefully. Keeps it dry. Keeps it close. It will be needed again. Boots are checked. Laces tightened. Mud scraped away with a knife edge. Small acts. Important acts. Beyond the camp, the city stirs at last. A distant door opens. Wood creaks. Footsteps echo faintly on stone. Smoke rises from chimneys. Thin lines against the pale sky. Morning fires lit inside cramped homes. In narrow streets, cleaners begin their work. Sweeping refuse toward corners. Moving slowly. Wrapped against the chill. A cart will turn somewhere. Wood groaning softly. A horse snorts. The day stretches awake. Back at the tents, men finish their meal. Bowls scraped clean. Nothing wasted. They stand now. Slowly. Feeling stiffness leave their legs. Cold retreating inch by inch. The ground crunches underfoot. Frost breaking at last. Sound returning to the world. The night has released them. Not fully. But enough. They gather their things. Not hurried. Not loud. Prepared for another day. And the tents remain. Silent witnesses. Waiting for evening to return.